Oh boy. Oh, that is a nasty bit rate. Uh. Oh, okay, okay. It's back up. It's back up. Let me look back and forth between the thing. Okay. I think it's fixed. Um. Well, that was incredibly stupid. It is raining here. Maybe it's that. Um. Well, what can you do? What can you do? Internet just be weird sometimes, and if it if it starts giving me like really bad hiccups again, bad buffering and everything, we'll probably just call it a night. But it looks like it's gonna be fine now. Alright, I should be up again. What was I saying before all of that? Okay, Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs, I believe, okay, right. Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs, the multiplayer mode with the whole time travel shenanigans and stuff. That temple was so hard, and maybe for other people it wasn't like that difficult. Maybe because I had friends who had a DS. I didn't have friends who had Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs. I had Johnny, so it was just always me and him. And I'm pretty sure a lot of those puzzles you needed, like you really needed like more than two people, because it was a lot. Because the thing was that it was timed, and there weren't that many there weren't how do I put it? It was like a roguelite thing, right? So you had the thing was that you had a limited amount of time to go as far as you can into the temple, basically. No stops, no breaks, and you had one partner Pokemon that you could take with you at any given point in time. Whereas like in the usual game, you can hold up to 7 captured Pokemon. It was 6 or 7 captured Pokemon plus Ukulele Pichu. Ukulele Pichu was not available in the whole like time travel multiplayer shenanigans. So that it made things so much harder, and I never got to see the end of it, which is a shame because I was personally really invested in the story. That's just kind of how I've always been. I always loved like story-driven stuff. So it was a real shame that I never got to see the end of it. I could always look it up on YouTube, but I was mentioning before the whole OBS crash happened, that maybe it'd be fun to play on stream, but I think it's probably like the one DS game on emulator that would require me to play with a drawing tablet, and I'm not particularly looking forward to scratching my tablet screen to play Pokemon Ranger Guardian signs. So if I find another way, I'll find another way, but that's where I'm at. So I think this is looking pretty decent so far. I just finished sketching this today. The funny part about both Draw This in Your Style prizes, I believe both prize winners have bards for their prize. So I'm like, oh boy, I get to do the whole instrument thing twice. The other character has a guitar, it looks like, from what I remember from the reference. So that's going to be really fun to draw. I had to look up reference for this. It's very funny drawing stuff that you're not used to drawing, because sometimes you just have to like sit there and relate it to things that you did draw before. I don't think I've ever really drawn a character with a lute. If I did it like once, and that was like a really long time ago, and I have no idea where the file is. But the whole thing with the lute, when I was looking it up, is like the body. I was like, well, it kind of looks like an egg, so I'll draw an egg, basically. That was kind of where my brain was at. Let's see. And I had a lot of fun with the character. It was really fun drawing it off of like a little like Lego minifigure, because not that the hair is usually like shaped differently or outlandishly differently, but it is interesting to like reference off of that, because it's like all these like little parts that go together make this one thing. So now it's like, okay, well now I have to figure out like what's this going to look like at the end of this? Yeah. Aside from that, work was work today. It was really slow, so I got off a little bit early. I would have gotten off earlier, but as soon as, like, as soon as I was supposed to, like, get off, a rush started, so it's like, well, I guess I can't leave. Today I mentioned that whole thing where it's like, this lady in the drive-thru is like, how many stars come in the 6-piece chicken star? And, you know, as much as I would have loved to give her, like, a very snarky retort, you know? Because it's like, my word, how can you be so stupid? You gotta tell me where you got your free lobotomy, miss. I was just so stunned at the question that I just didn't say anything. Because I had to stand there, like, at my little, like, screen and just be like, did I hear that right? Was that on me? I don't remember. But she genuinely did ask that, and then she goes on to order like 2 6-star combos, and I'm like, okay, if you say so. I'm glad she figured it out. I'm glad it took her that long. It didn't take her like minutes or anything, but it did take a surprising amount of time. Pre-roll ads are disabled for 62 minutes. Oh boy. Oh, ads. Anyways, among other things that happened at work today. So it was raining, like I said. Slow today because of that. And, oh my god. So, if it was slow today, in the dine at least, it was like a bit busier in drive-thru because, you know, nobody really wants to get out of their car. This one lady. You don't realize how bad of an issue, like, windshield wipers are being a drive-thru attendant until they start splashing on you. So this lady had her drive-thru, like, her window wipers on, like, high or something. Because they were splashing water all over my face in the drive-thru window. And of course, my face is, like, scrunched up because it's catching all these droplets. And she looks at me and, like, girl, it's just water. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to stay dry here, right? Like, the goal is to, not get wet during my job or while I'm on the clock. And then also, it's not just water. The water came off of the top of your car. I don't care how long your car has been out there. It's not necessarily clean. I was telling my manager, like, afterwards, like, you know what I should have done? I should have splashed water on her and be like, oh, it's just water. What are you upset about? Like, I don't know. Just a little bit of courtesy goes a long way to, not make everybody's life around you miserable. And when I handed her her food, she stayed for like an extra minute doing her makeup in the drive-thru in like her little rear view mirror, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, can you get out? Get out before I actually splash water on you. Yeah, she was a bitch. I'm not ashamed to say it. Yeah, wasn't too happy about that today, but there wasn't anything too, like, miserable today overall. Like, it's just the usual drive-thru or fast food stuff, which, I can't complain about. It does make the days go by a little bit better in a sense. It's like, well, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great today, but at least I can say it wasn't terrible. Just looking on, like, those few bright sides and everything. What else? Speaking of drive-thru, actually, we have a new policy in effect until corporate decides that they want to change it again. We are no longer parking cars in the drive-thru. Hooray! That is a great thing because, one, I think it means there's a little bit less pressure on, like, the whole 6-minute car thing, and two, what was the second thing? It means, I don't have to worry about me forgetting that there's a parked car out front somewhere, because that is a very, like, easy thing to, like, have happen. That's just what it is. If it gets busy, it gets busy, and it's hard to, like, do everything. If I'm center, I can, like, call things out, like, very easily, but if somebody else is center, and they don't call things out, I will forget to make it. And it has happened before. And we have had, like, very impatient people. They'll be waiting for, like, 2 minutes for their food. And it's like, they come and it's like, it's been 10 minutes. It's been 2 minutes. I can see the timer right here, lady. Your food was ready. But yeah, that's just the usual drive-thru stuff. And thankfully, until, again, corporate decides that they want to change it and make our lives worse again, we are no longer parking cars. And I'm like, thank God. Because personally, I don't like parking cars for a different reason. And my reason is that it's way too short-staffed for someone to be, like, running back and forth between frontline and everything and taking orders. Because, you know, I'm usually the one stuck running frontline by myself for at least 5 minutes until somebody realizes, oh shoot, it's busy. Let me go help Kyra in the front when it's already gone all the way down to shit. So that's what I'm, like, mostly, like, frustrated with, and that's why I don't park cars, because it gets too busy when I'm literally the only one, like, managing the front. Like, I can't do it. It's not happening. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Another thing that's happened is, we brought back our small combos. It's not that they were ever gone to begin with, but they were technically off menu for, like, the longest time, for, like, a year. And corporate decided, oh, you know, let's just put the smalls back on the menu. And it's like, why did we even change this? I feel like it just shouldn't have been the case, like, at all. It just makes the most sense if, to have small, medium, and large, and not, like, force people to get large if they don't, if they want something bigger than a regular, because a regular now is back to being small, which I appreciate a lot. And I'm sure the customers do too, to an extent. Ooh. Let me get this eye right about right. Ah, this music is so nostalgic, I love it. I swear, the Pokemon soundtracks never miss. Like, they're all so good, and I don't understand it. I feel like for a lot of more, like, Western games that I've played, the soundtracks just aren't super memorable. Like, yeah, there's maybe, like, 1 or 2 songs that stick out to me, but I feel like for a lot of, like, Nintendo soundtracks, so many of them, it's like you hear, like, the first few seconds of it, and it's like, I know exactly what this is, I know what part of the game it is, and everything. Just so much better than Western soundtracks. Again, I can't remember a lot of them. And I mostly mean it from, like, AAA studio. It's not necessarily, like, indie stuff. Let's see. This eye feels a little bit slanted, so I'm gonna try bringing it, like, up a little. I think a lot of it, too, comes down to just matching the thickness of the other eye. Let's see. Another thing, too, I finished the Sorcerer sticker last night, for those who haven't seen. I am actually very proud of it. I think it looks pretty good for what it is. I don't do a lot of painting, necessarily. I'll paint backgrounds, but, like, those are usually, like, fairly low detail at the end of the day. Because, you know, I usually have, like, something else to be the subject of the whole thing. So that's always going to be more in focus, and, I was really proud of it. I think it looks super good. There is just, like, one tiny little mistake, but I'll, like, fix that when I start putting everything onto an actual sticker sheet. I need to look up how to do, like, my own sticker sheets. I am going to take that, I am going to look at that site that Drink, mentioned in a comment, because, yeah. Johnny's definitely upset at me for buying 100 acrylic charms, but you know what? I think it'll work out. Cause to me, all that means is, I'll have extra stock, I won't have to order any more for a little while. And it's not like the game store and markets is the only place I can sell on. I can always ask you guys if you want to buy, and of course there's no pressure to. It's just ideas. I don't even know how that would go. Please bring this down. I'm a little sleepy today, I'm gonna say that at least. I might end it just a little bit early for stream. Not too early, maybe like 30 minutes early, 20 or 30 minutes early. I'll have work at 10 tomorrow, so that's not very exciting. I don't really want to be starting at 10. I guess they really need me, and we are due for inspections at the store, so I'm like, yippee! I should have worked retail instead. I'm sure retail would be, like, worse in its own unique way, though. Let's see. Oops. What time is it now? 10:24. Alright. Nothing too bad. Johnny is off today, but I think he's really tired and I don't think he's up to play on stream right now, so just let him rest up. If he changes his mind, I at the very least have my phone off of Do Not Disturb, so if he wants to text me and ask if we can play, I would be fine by that. Yeah. Let me think. I'm excited for convention stuff. Or not necessarily convention stuff, but like art market stuff. Man, that rash on my neck is really itchy. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it is the one thing. Like, part of me is like worried I'm gonna spend like a really, really long time getting inventory. And I just kind of don't want that to be the case. Like, I want to like rush every... but I know I shouldn't like rush my designs because then they're not gonna look that good. So it's like a weird middle ground. I seriously doubt I'm gonna have all 13 stickers by the time I decide that I want to apply for the Riverside Art Walk. I think that would just be kind of like an insane like expectation to have for myself, especially given like how long the stickers kind of take. Because what was it? We were working on the Sorcerer sticker for 3 hours on stream, and I got like what, 2 out of not even 2. It was like, go away Windows Update. It was like really 1.5 because I just got through like the scales and then on the frame of the dragon wing, and that was kind of it. So that didn't work out all that well, and if it's gonna take me like 6 hours per sticker to like paint and like come up with ideas and everything, kind of insane to just think that I should have all of that ready. What else did I want to like yap about right now? Let's see. I've said before that I love watching YouTube drama videos. I think they're very funny and entertaining. Not the subject matter, just the fact that it happens. One thing that I've definitely been keeping up with is the whole Johnny Somali case. He's that one IRL streamer who was formerly on Kick, I'm so happy to say that. Who was formerly on Kick, and he just does the whole IRL public nuisance shenanigans, like... But he was doing it in, like, places like Japan, I think Israel, and then, like, most recently Korea. That's how far I've been keeping up with it. He got arrested, and he's getting charged so hard, and he's been finally kicked off of just about every single like social media platform where he can like stream to, which I think is great because like it's just so funny to think that he, how do I put this? How did the YouTubers that I watch put it? In Korea, they are basically making it so that he has to fend for himself. They're not arresting him necessarily, but he has all of these like charges against him that he's gonna have to, you know, he's gonna have to go through. But rather than arrest and house him and essentially be forced to like feed him and everything, they just left him on the streets to fend for himself. So his only way of making money was through streaming. And because now he's essentially been banished off of all of his regular platforms, or pretty much any platform that would allow streaming and donations and everything, he cannot make money, and he can't work because he has all of these like criminal charges against him. And it's like, this brings me so much pleasure right now. It's not even funny. It's a little funny. It's very funny. But yeah, his pain and suffering fuels my joy and happiness and overall ability to thrive. So I'm so excited to see how this is gonna go. And it's the idea too that he could be potentially sentenced for up to 30 years in prison over there, which I think is great. And he can't leave the country too because they took away his passports and everything. He's like mega screwed, and I'm just like, this is it. This is my Super Bowl right here. Is it a little mean? I think it's justified, as does literally everyone else. So, so there's that. Really enjoying that. And then, as always, just watching, like, more, like, art stuff as of recently. I never realized how, like, I don't want to say toxic, because that feels a little mean-spirited, but I guess it's kind of true. I never realized, like, how, like, toxic the art community can be sometimes, because it's, like, the community that on Twitter and Blue Sky right now is very wholesome. It's very sweet. It's very, like, close and tight-knit, and I think that is the best thing. Oh, hello, Hecate! Joining in quietly. I'm glad that I'm gonna be, like, here while you're working. I hope you enjoy my silly little art rambles and everything. I'm doing particularly well. I hope everyone else in chat is also doing well. I see 3 people here. Hello and welcome. But yeah, no. What was I talking about? Yeah. I never realized, like, how, like, hostile. I think that's the better way to put it over toxic, because, you know, you can say that about any community realistically. Every community has, like, that icky part to it. But, like, the art community is, like, very, very hostile for some reason. I've been watching this channel on YouTube, Cat and Chat. It's, like, edited down VODs of this other art streamer. And it's just kind of crazy how so many situations just get so out of hand. And for no reason. And it's all, like, the pettiest things. And it's, like, okay, not to say that, like, AI is just, like, a petty thing, and, like, yes, we should be, like, calling out artists who do it, but it's so funny just how, like, how rabid TikTok is, especially. I think especially TikTok. I'm glad I don't use it all that much, because it's, like, it's like jumping into into, like, a pool of angry and hungry bull sharks, because they're just on you. They're so mean to beginner artists too, apparently. It's so funny. Not funny, like, funny haha, funny weird. I'm sorry, but the idea that you would be so mean to someone who's just, like, barely learning art is just, like, I can't believe those kinds of people exist! Wow! Congratulations! But as it turns out, there was one account from, like, a few months ago. So this is, like, old news. Like, super, super old internet news, I guess. And man, this rash up my neck is really... I should put lotion on it. I'm gonna do that real quick, chat. But anyways, they were masquerading as, like... That's a reflection of their insecurities. I agree 100%. It's, like, oh, you're literally just making fun of this beginner artist because either you can't draw or you're just jealous that beginner artist is getting a lot of engagement over you. Which is actually a good segue into what was happening here. There was an artist masquerading as a beginner artist and was kind of doing it as, like, a sort of experiment and everything. And they wanted to make it seem like they were getting, like, huge amounts of improvement, like, really, really fast, like, over the course of, I'm talking, like, only, like, a small handful of days, essentially. And it's like, well, that is entirely unrealistic growth. I don't care, like, who you are. That's, like, insanity, right? Because it would be, like a very, very, like, beginner-y art style, and then into something that's very, like, advanced. All of a sudden, it took them, like, I think 5 days to get there. And again, it was all, like, fake. And it's, for a moment, it's like, wow, what a really, like, scummy way to, like, what a scummy thing to do at first, right? Because it's like, well, you're putting all this pressure on like actual beginner artists, and like you're getting like so much support off of like people. You're getting so much support from people who think you're going on like this really big art journey, when in reality it's very like fabricated and synthetic. But then they talked on their thing where they actually had like a real TikTok art account where they were posting their art, and it was just kind of heartbreaking to read, because it's like they were just tired of working like 4 to 9 hours on like projects and then only getting like a very small handful of likes for their work. And it's like, one of the YouTube comments on the reaction video explained it very well. Big artists, advanced artists get tons of recognition, and beginner artists also get tons of engagement because, well, it's a combination of two things. It's people shitting on beginner artists, and the other one is supporting beginner artists. So it's those two things. In the middle, intermediate artists, and I think that's where a lot of the art community that I'm in right now, that little like social media circle, that's where a lot of us fall, where we're definitely not beginners. I wouldn't necessarily call us like super highly advanced, to the point where we could do like master classes. I mean, I personally think like a lot of us could do like master classes, like Shunky and Drink. Oh my god, their art is incredible. Kira Elric too, but it's so hard to get noticed when you're in that like middle ground where it's really good, but there's so many of us where it's so hard to get that engagement. And I agree. It does suck sometimes, spending hours and hours on a piece, and then like you only get like a small handful of like interactions with it. And that was a big thing that was killing me when I was on Twitter. I'm still on Twitter, but for a huge part of like my career on Twitter, that's, oh my god, let me never use that combination of words again. For my art stuff on Twitter, because yeah, I was doing like a lot of art, and I was doing art every single day, and this art would take hours out of that day, and it does take a while, and maybe I wasn't posting every day like I do now, but it was difficult, and it would be like really disappointing to get like 2 likes on a piece that in my head I spent like, you know, a large amount of time on. That being said though, I've tried to like shake off that mindset as much as I can. You know, it's still, the engagement still matters a lot to me, because that's how you're gonna grow, right? But to be so attached to the idea of like that is like the value of your art, I'm trying to like, I've been doing my best to like shake off that mindset, and I think where I am right now, with the account growth, I'm very satisfied with it. I'm not too worried about follower counts right now. It honestly feels like a lot. It feels a little, I'm not gonna lie, my follower count feels a little inflated, overinflated even, and it's like, oh boy. Like sometimes it's a little intimidating, but at the same time I have to remember, like, okay, well they're not all like active followers, so it's okay. It's just a big number, and big numbers are kind of scary. But still, I do feel bad for this person on TikTok that faked like their whole like them being like a beginner artist thing, because it does like it does suck again to like this is our life's work. It is tragic, but do I think they should have done that? I'm not gonna say that they shouldn't have done that, because it sounds like they were young, and I don't think it's wrong for an artist to seek like attention and validation for their work. I will say it was not, I don't think they intended for it to go as far as it did, but I definitely would have taken like a different approach for like account growth and sharing my art. to say the least. But I'm not gonna outright say like, oh, this was wrong, this was a very, very, very bad thing. You've basically committed sins and crimes against... No, I'm not gonna say that. I don't think the hate is warranted. I had a thought, and now it's gone. Ah! I don't think the hate was warranted against that person, and I do wish them all the best on, like, whatever art journey they have ahead of them. Again, I just feel bad, because their point... what they did there did kind of just, like, prove their point. A lot of algorithms are kind of only geared towards, like, the extremes of, art skill and everything. It's either very, like, it like, you either get a lot of engagement as a beginner, or you get, like, a lot of, like, everything else as a very advanced and professional artist. And meanwhile, the rest of us are kind of, like, caught in that in-between where we're still trying to, like, find some footholding, trying to find, like, a way to grow. We get completely shadowed by that, and I think it's a little tragic. Like, it sucks that the algorithm is built that way. I wish it was different. But even still, though, I am happy with what I've been doing with my accounts lately. Do I want to be a very, very big creator, though? That is a really good question. It would help me out a lot. I won't lie. It would be nice to have this as, like, something that could pay bills properly, but, rather than be hopeful, I think I'd rather be realistic. I think some people think that's me being, like, negative. It's like, no, you gotta stay positive about this stuff, and I'm like, there's a difference between staying positive and staying realistic, I think. I'm trying to be, like, very realistic about it. Like I was telling, like, my boss, like, maybe I shouldn't have ordered 100 acrylic custom charms of the Displacer Beast thing, and she's like, no, you can't have that attitude. And it's like, it's not necessarily about the attitude, it's way more about me being like, okay, if I spent like $200 on these 100 charms and I only sell like 5 of them, that is a slight issue, but well, what can we do? We live and we learn. I'm just gonna be realistic. I'm just gonna do what I can, and once again, that is just the best I can do. Let's see. This line is being a little funky right now. There we go. Let me save. I think it's been a little bit of a hot minute since I last saved. Anyways, how is everyone else in chat doing? I've certainly had a rainy day. I'm very happy to get rain, actually. I love the rain. I'm not a huge fan of how cold it is, because it's a little hard to stay warm sometimes. But today wasn't, like, super, super cold. We're kind of coming out of winter already, so, I'm only saying I'm only gonna say that it's unfortunate because, I want to take a trip up to the mountains to go see some snow and bring our dogs there, but, if it's not snowing, then it's alright, I guess. Let's see. I want to do an engraving on the axe too, but I'm not sure what that's gonna look like yet. So I held off on sketching it because when I sketch on Procreate, the pencil is a bit thick, and I would make it thinner, but then it's too thin. And then somehow it's too thick, and then somehow it's too thin, and I've decided on this middle ground for my sketches. It's hot and humid, raining on and off. Oh, man, that sucks. I don't know if you're a fan of, like, humid weather or anything, but I know for a fact that I'm not, so I feel really bad for you, but at least you're getting rain. That's, I feel like that's hard to come by sometimes. Maybe that's just the Californian in me talking, but, rain good. Rain is very good. Most of the time. And Johnny is sharing TikToks with me. I'll look at that later. I like dry heat, because with me, I do like the idea that I can stand under a tree in the shade and then like actually get like cooled off, because the thing with dry heat is like, yeah, the air is hot, but it's not, the heat isn't like sticking to you. That's my whole thing. So that's why I like dry heat. Humidity is like, it is going to cling to you and everything, and it's gonna feel awful, and in all the humid climates I've been in, I've just been miserable. I think I've talked about the DC trip before. DC trip was not funny. Everything is covered in snow here with -3 degrees Celsius, which is 26 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, I appreciate the conversion, but oh my god, that is super cold. Yeah. Man, yeah, that is big ouchies. But it is exciting to hear about snow. We don't get snow. Okay, we do get snow in California, but only in the mountains, so we don't get it down here. I will say, one time when I was in middle school, it hailed, and I thought the end times were coming. You know, it's like a edgy 12 to 13-year-old child. I was like, oh my god, hail in Southern California? In the desert? Oh my god, it's the end times. The world is gonna end tomorrow, guys. Rain is something we usually celebrate, but we've had flooding in the northern part of Queensland, and as a result, a rogue crocodile is now lurking where I've booked myself in for a holiday. Oh my god! I mean, okay, first of all, the flooding is awful. That is actually scary. The crocodile in your living space, though, well, not necessarily living space, but like around your residency, though, that is actually wild. I wish I had tips for that, but alas, I'm Californian. That's terrifying. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying dry, too. Oh boy. If I suddenly disappear, you'll know why! Oh no! No! Don't disappear! Don't feed the crocodiles! Oh my god, that is terrifying. Yeah. I don't think no, we don't, I don't know what reptiles we might have caimans, but I feel like the caimans might have been imported. My campus had a caiman, apparently. I won't be volunteering myself as dinner. Rebecca, you will be missed. Oh no. We're already making plans. You should name the crocodile, I think. I think that would be a very, very funny thing. So at least when Hecate disappears, we have a name to blame, and that is the goal. Like, is this crocodile on the news, or is this just something that you walked outside and then saw and then promptly walked back in? Because that would have been my reaction. Well, I would have seen that, just like just slowly close the door, lock it, and then walk away. That would have been me. Yeah, I feel like I know my college campus had a caiman. I think those guys are a lot smaller than crocodiles and alligators. So I'm aware of that. We also had, I think we also had an aviary, but I never went inside of it. Mostly because all of my classes were on like one side of the campus, and then I think it was always locked, and I didn't know who to ask to get a key or go inside. And God forbid I talk to someone and ask for help. So, rip me. In the event that I need help and have to talk to a stranger to get said help, I will simply perish. I'm not... You would hope that I'm, like, better at this point, but I'm not. Let's see. But yeah, I don't think caimans are native to California, if I had to take a guess. So I'm sure that guy in the campus was imported. And then I know I know the meme about Florida and their alligators. God, those things are huge. I saw a video. I need to show you guys this, because Florida is like another like period of like time and space. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to find it. I should just be in my history. If I type in alligator, I'm sure I'll find it. The ability to search your watch history has to be one of the most wonderful things. Yeah, it's this one. This is just crazy. It's time for me again to get distracted from the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. Man says there's a 10-foot alligator in there, and I believe him. I believe it. I've seen this video twice, and I'm never ready for the thing. I don't watch the news, but I heard about it after I booked my holiday. I'm not at my holiday destination for another few weeks yet, so I'm safe for now. I'm hoping that he's gotten relocated by then. I hope so too. Because it does always suck when, like, wild animals find their way into, like, civilization like that. Because one of two things happens. Somebody gets killed or the animal gets killed, and both of which are not good. But yeah, I've seen this video twice, and I'm never ready for the reveal. So, like, look at that! Look at that absolute unit of a... Ugh. Like, imagine being in the swamps with that thing. He's, like... People have thalassophobia. I'll take my chances with the ocean. The ocean's pretty vast, and at least it's, like... The water is a little bit clearer, and I can see what's happening. This is... This is just a dinosaur. This is just a dinosaur that can swim. And if I remember correctly, actually, I used to watch a lot of Casual Geographic. That one guy on TikTok who has all kinds of funny ways to say that somebody dies, or something's gonna get you killed. I used to watch a lot of that guy. And I swear there was like a prehistoric alligator or crocodile. It was one of the two, and I can't remember. But it was one that could, like, gallop, essentially, like a horse. And it could run so fast on land and in water. Like, like, these guys today, they're nerfed. That thing was, like... I think about it sometimes, and it's just like, man... How bad it must have, like, sucked to, like, live back then as, like, a prey animal, because, I would be upset if I had to deal with that in today's modern day. Like imagine that alligator we just saw, that 10-foot alligator. Crocs can be pretty fast. I'm assuming, I don't mean the footwear. I'm assuming you mean run. Yeah, now imagine that but faster. Imagine that but, like, running at you like a dog or like a wolf or something far worse, or like far faster than, like, a standard, like, lizard run. It's just, I don't know. I think about it sometimes and it's like, why did, like, do not let Mother Nature cook. Do let her cook. It's very funny, actually. It's the idea of, like, something that big running towards you with a bite force that strong, and so on and so forth. It's like how did we why was this allowed to exist? This is so mean. But yeah. Let's see. I'd far prefer the wolf running at me. I would too. Well, actually, let me think. A wolf, a single wolf by itself wouldn't be too bad, right? Like, the whole reason why wolves hunt in packs is because, like, one wolf is not, like, the worst thing to take head on. But, yeah, I would definitely prefer the wolf over a fast horse crocodile or whatever. I saw a short recently too. It was like, how come there are really big cats in the wild, but no really big dogs in the wild? And that's just kind of to reiterate the fact that, like, wolves, their strength really does come in numbers, so they don't necessarily have to be as big, because the whole point of them taking down prey is that, like, it's a lot of stuff, like, all of that, like, energy is, like, distributed over a lot of stuff. And whereas the big cats, it's like, big cats are solitary, so they gotta do, like, all the legwork. If a wolf bites your arm, you can survive. If a croc bites your arm, it is gone, no chance, so I take the wolf. Yeah, I would too. And have you guys actually seen, like, how big wolves are, though? Like, I always feel like in my head, like, a wolf is, like, you know, like, roughly the size of, like, a German Shepherd or, you know, a Husky. Oh my god. Like, I remember there was this other channel on Shorts that would pop up for me. Those wolves were massive. It was like, oh, that's the difference between a domesticated dog and a wolf. That is awful. Not awful, but that is terrifying. I live close to Australia Zoo where the crocs and alligators, and they're so fascinating, but I don't want one sharing my Airbnb unless he's paying his share. So true. So unbelievably true. You know, maybe you don't speak the language here, Mr. Crocodile, but, that don't mean you're exempt from paying rent. That would get me eaten so hard. Maybe you could turn the Airbnb into a small exhibit and use the pay for itself. I've not seen one in person, but I've seen how huge they are. Yeah, wolves are, like, yeah, the wolves are no way, no way, shape, or form as big as, like, say, a lion or a tiger, but they are scary. They are big, and I'm just like, this one guy that I was watching, like, he sits there and he puts his face in their face and he's giving them, like kisses and everything, and it's like, Butters growls at me if I try to do that sometimes, and I get scared and I back off immediately, so I don't know how this guy just lets them do that. But I guess in the same way where I just kind of let Butters growl at me, because I know, like, he's just doing his little butter communication thing. I guess it's the same with him. My dad gets so mad at Butters when he growls. He's like, you gotta show that dog who's boss. And I'm like, you are basically telling this dog, if you yell at him, that his feelings don't mean anything. And, so I'm not gonna get mad at him. Yeah, I love Butters. He's been doing great lately. It sucks that we got hit up with, like, rainy season and everything because I can't take him to the park. But it's also just been, like, really, really cold to go out at night anyways, so the environment is so unique. People have never seen an alligator on a sofa before. Gap in the market. True. Yeah. No, Dad gets mad at Butters when Butters growls. Meanwhile, I'm just here like, you kind of have to let him. Like, Butters, I trust that dog. I trust that dog a lot. I don't think he'll ever bite me, as long as, you know, I am being smart about the way that I'm handling him. Right? Because, like, he'll give hugs, but Butters is also, like, very reactive, so I think even though he's the one who will, like, start a hug, or start a cuddle, or, like, be the one asking for pets, he's kind of, like, weird sometimes. So I can usually tell, like, when he's gonna get, like, a little, like, silly like that. So usually I'll say something like, oh, where's Bald? So just kind of, like, snap him out of it. Because one, that will absolutely do the trick, and two, it immediately, like, distracts him. But, you know, sometimes I can't always catch it. Other times, too, if, like, it's mostly when, like, he's, like, trying to, like, hug me or, like, grab my arms. That's when I'll, like, try to, like shake myself loose and, like, try to distract him or something. If I'm just, like, petting him and he starts growling, I just look at him like, what's wrong? What's wrong, Butters? You got it? Like, is it, like, are you okay? And he just looks at me like, and he goes stalking off to his cage because he's like, he's so grumpy sometimes, it's so funny. Okay, time to draw the egg. I'll put this on a separate layer now. Oh my god, you're right, I can make and sell tea, coffee, scones, and sausage rolls and make extra cash. That's such a good idea. Come on, step right up and be one of the first to witness an alligator lounging on a sofa. Look at this swamp. Look at this massive swamp puppy, lying down and enjoying a show of The Office or something. Just like the rest of us. I feel like that's something someone would say. Let's see. My stomach is feeling better now. I'm also glad that everyone... I'll be rich, dead, but rich. It ain't that just a mood. I'm glad all of you guys, were able to catch stream when it wasn't crashing, because when I started this earlier, OBS had a huge, like, thing where it's like, we are unable to connect to the stream, you gotta check the stream key, and I'm like, I have no idea where to find that OBS, you're just gonna have to try reconnecting. And then it just never really connected. So I had to close OBS and restart it, basically. But it looks like it's fine, and I'm glad it's holding up through the rain. I don't even know if it's still raining. Doesn't quite sound like it. Maybe the rain will be over tomorrow. No! California needs the rain so bad. We're, like, in a constant drought. I think since 2016, I've been hearing, like, California is in a major drought, and I'm just like, man, we're never getting out of this, are we? We'll have our rainy season, but it's just so dry down here. I would love for, like, a summer thunderstorm. I love thunderstorms. I think they're really cool. Like, yeah, it's loud, and it's going to, like, surprise me at some point. Like, I'll be startled, because thunder is so loud. But I think they're really cool. It's not a thunderstorm right now, it's just rain. It came down hard, which reminds me, actually. About a year or two ago for Thanksgiving, I was working around Thanksgiving, because I think there's no way the store was open that late on Thanksgiving evening. But basically, it was a big downpour, and I was working late, it was really slow. And there were, like, 5 leaks going on in the store. So there was, like, 1 in the dine, and then, like, a few in the kitchen, and then, like, 2 more in the office. And the one in the dine was kind of crazy. Well, no, glad the stream stabilized. I hope the rain continues for you. Storms are great, as long as they're not too destructive. Yeah, I don't think this will be too destructive. We got, like, 1 flood warning, but, like... should be fine, I think. As long as we don't get another one. Probably. But anyways, I hope I can still find it. It's probably on my iMessage somewhere. It was really funny because the one in the dine was super bad. So we have like the, I'm gonna illustrate it here real quick, but we have like grids for our ceiling, right? And then like each tile is like a ceiling panel and stuff. And you can kind of lift it, it's like that drywall stuff. We can't have anything like sturdier because, you know, earthquakes and everything. Was it this group chat? I hope to God it was this group chat because it'd be so funny. Ah, it's not here. Please tell me I have it on my Google Photos at least. I'm gonna scroll real quick and see if there's anything else. No, I have no idea what any of this is. Okay, I should clear those up. Let me check my Google Photos. But basically, one of the tiles out front in the dine, it was really bad. It was so unbelievably bad. It was like, we put a bucket out and, was it November 2023 or November 2022? I'm gonna have to look. But, the big issue with it was that we had the bucket there and the ceiling was sagging already. Like, like there was a huge dip already and it was wet and the bucket just keeps getting fuller and fuller and we have to keep dumping it. And we're trying to call the general manager, like, can we please close the store? And I think the general manager at the time was up to do that. But the problem was that the district manager was not. Ooh, I think this was actually back in 2022. That or I didn't save the image. I'm trying to find it. I'm gonna check 2022 real quick. And if it's not there, I'll just let you guys know exactly what went down. Let's see. Ah, this stuff is so old. Was I even employed back here? I don't even remember. I don't remember when I started working at Carl's Jr. You'd think I would, but I don't. I just remember that there was a period of time, like, holiday season, where they weren't giving me any hours because everyone kept requesting, like, everyone around me wanted to hang out. So I kept requesting the days off, and they just never gave me the days back, to the point where I just wasn't on the schedule. Like, can you not do that to me? Yeah, this is December already. Maybe it was December. No, I don't think it was. Okay. Well, I can't find it anymore, but I did find the car accident that happened out front of my house that me and Clive were laughing at. Stupid teenagers. So anyways, what ended up happening was, I got sent home early, unfortunately, because, you know, it was really slow, the rain was really bad, and I was upset about being sent home early because I really, really wanted to see the ceiling collapse. And that's exactly what happened. I went home, I'm lounging on the couch, and I get a text message on the group chat. The ceiling, like, fully collapsed onto the seat, and all of us were just like,